welcome to Winsport. I'm Simon Jaskovsky. Alongside me, I've got Reese Tenhope. And this afternoon, we have a matchup between the Lakeland Rustlers and the SAIT Trojans. Last night, these teams both took on each other, and Lakeland was able to come out ahead 4-2. But today is a new day, and we'll have to see what the Trojans can bring to try and tie up this weekend series with the Rustlers. Reese, what do you think Lakeland needs to do to walk out of Winsport with 2 straight wins?
Well, you know what, Simon? They have 2 very strong players. We're talking number 5, Haley Corthers, and number 4, Olivia Mann, who are currently tied to second for points in the ACAC. I think continuing to throw those 2 on the ice is going to get them way ahead once again.
Yeah, of course, and when you have struggles, it's always important to rely on your stars, and I'm sure we'll be seeing Lakeland do that tonight. What do you think the Trojans need to do to come out ahead in today's matchup?
You know what? Our Trojans have fantastic goalies, and as long as they can protect those goalies from the puck, they're going to be able to keep the Rustlers far away. We're also going to keep an eye on Piper Alexander and Sage Barstow, who were able to score some goals last night.
Yeah, and something that we've seen be a struggle for the Trojans has been scoring at times, but they were able to score 2 last night as well. We'll see if maybe they can build on that. We've got the rest of the game's coverage coming up next as both teams take the ice. We'll be right back with you after the starting lineups and the national anthem. Stick around. face off and start breaking into the Trojan zone now. Knocking it around into the corner, retrieving it will be the Trojans, but not for long. They'll move it back to Cole. Cole finds her other defenseman. Sending it across, back to Cole. She'll load up and fire, sending it on goal. Not quite able to make it there. Ends up behind the goal. The Trojans applying pressure. They'll have it in front. Madison Fox saves it. They'll make their way around. That's Erdhard in the corner. Sent around. That'll be Cloette. Sent in front for trying to find Alexander. No one home. Cameron Ward moving forward. Finds Alexander, the speedy center, moving forward. But won't be able to make much of it as she'll end up dumping into the corner. And the Trojans will go off for a change. The second line makes their way out. They'll start breaking out. That's the Rustlers on the attack. Haley Carruthers with the puck. Moving in with speed. She's got help. Won't end up using it as the puck ends up in the corner. And the Trojans start their own breakout. They'll have a man on the wing. They'll find Lowen making her way in. She'll try and find someone in the center. No one home once again as the puck moves into the corner. Find someone behind the goal. Let's see if they can do something with it. Rustlers will intercept and knock them off the puck. Moving down now will be Hayward on it. She moves the puck into the corner, trying to create space. No one, not quite able to. They'll end up dumping it down, and this one won't be an icing as they'll end up beating it to the puck. And the Rustlers have it once again, and already early in this 2 minutes, we have already started to see plenty of action. As the Rustlers make their way in, Madison Fox is there, and the puck goes right wide.
One thing we know for certain is that the Trojans are going to be playing hard tonight, trying to break their 5-game lose streak.
Nearly a great chance for McKinnon, and you're totally right. The Trojans have struggled at times so far this season, but they are already looking strong. Let's see what they can do with it. They have it in the corner now as they fight for the puck. McKinnon's in there. The Rustlers end up with it, and they'll make it up the wing. That'll be Perry. She'll walk it in herself. Not able to bury it as the Trojans defense stands strong. McKinnon dumps it in, make sure there's no icing. But they will end up calling an icing. I could have swore I saw McKinnon touch the puck before it hit the other side, but the ref will disagree. We are at the 17:43 mark of the first period. The score is 0-0. Only shot on the board so far is for the Trojans. That'll be McKinnon in the face-off circle. She'll win it as the Trojans start to break out, applying pressure to the defense. And that will be a big factor for the Trojans if they can keep these Rustlers defenders off the puck. They have quite a few people who can score from the blue line. We'll see if they can take advantage of it. Speak of the devil, the Rustlers are on the board. And able to find it from up high. That'll be Austin Eden. She currently has, that is her first goal of the season so far, had an assist. As they quickly take momentum. We'll see if they can hold on to it and what they can do with it. As we get ready to take a face-off here. In the circle now will be Hill for the Rustlers. As that one will end up tied up and the Rustlers end up on top of it. Moving in now, that's Saloweski. They'll get shot into the corner, Hayward's there. And they'll have it behind the goal. Making their way around on it now, that'll be Boliema. Moving forward, she'll end up muscling it up herself. Will get taken now with speed. She'll walk it in, putting it on goal. But that one, Neufeld was all there. They try and put it on goal once again. Finds nothing but a defender, and they'll start to make their way out of the defensive zone, with speed. And Pilipon will end up throwing it down. Pilipau, will end up putting it down into the corner. The Trojans end up cycling it around, trying to find an open forward. As they start to break out, Vader's there. Sending it up to Brewer, not quite able to hit her. As the Trojan forwards go off for a change, while the Rustlers break in. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Appel with it, sending it around. Up at the top, that'll be Buziak. Moving in down now, that'll be Wingert. She'll find... Now we'll end up getting blown down as the net will be hit off its posts. We are now at the 16-minute mark of this one. Currently only 3 shots on the board. Doesn't quite feel right. I could have swore we've seen a couple on Madison Fox early in this one. But the score remains 1-0 for the Rustlers. They fix up the nets. Madison Fox retakes her position. And we get ready to go for another faceoff in the Trojan zone. This one's won by the Rustlers. One back to Buziak. She'll walk it in herself with space. Walks it in off the blocker. Fox read that one all the way. And the Trojans start their breakout. They'll get stopped at the blue line. They'll have it. They'll try and muscle their way out. The Rustlers keeping it in the Trojan zone. Cole with it now. She'll choose to dump it in. Didn't make it far though, as Wingert will be there. And the Trojans start to actually break out. That'll be Holman with it. She'll put it into Barstow. Barstow puts it around the goal. It'll end up in the corner now. McKinnon pops over her stick, and the Rustlers might be able to get something going with speed. She'll put it towards the center, intercepted by Barstow. She'll put it in the corner off of a couple nice moves to beat the defender. And now they have it in the corner. With it there as ACAC close, Roulette's on the puck. She'll stop it and manage to, with a great defensive pinch there, able to put it back into the corner for McKinnon, who has it. They'll put it towards center, maybe dangerous, but no one home. As the Rustlers start to break out once again, she'll walk it in, take a wind up and slap it, but not quite able to get it by the strong defense of the Trojans. As they have it in the corner now. Try and find Hill on the outside, but that one will go all the way down the ice. No icing, as a Rustler was the last one to touch it. That will be Kaylee on the puck now. Trojans get the steal. They'll walk it in, putting it on goal. A lot of traffic. Where's the puck? Not behind her as they break out now. Hayward on it. She'll put it off the boards. That's Bull Emma. She'll walk it in with Brewer. She'll get the puck back after it's stolen, putting it on goal. With it now, they'll put it, and an incredible save by Neufeld keeps the Rustlers on top of this one. The Trojans still have it. They'll end up putting it back on goal, put right off the stick and into the corner as they start to make their way back around. That pass was intercepted, and the Rustlers start their breakout and will go off for a change as a tired Rustlers defense manages to prevent quite a few chances for the Trojans, who already early have 6 shots in this first period. Not necessarily a common theme with this Trojan squad. It'll end up in the corner, making their way around. That one goes all the way down the ice, but Perry's there to stop the icing, and the Trojans have it deep behind their own goal. Alexander's there. Let's see what she can do with it. She has speed. They'll end up going off her stick and down. Piper Alexander moving to the middle. Defender wasn't able to find her. That'll be Schnitzler with it now. She'll put it off the shin pad, and a chance for the Rustlers. A 2-on-1 gets intercepted there by Alexander as she'll make her way back around the goal now. And intercepted once again. A lot of mishaps when it comes to the passes for both squads. With it now, that'll be Ward. Ward finds Alexander, but she'll be knocked off the puck. She'll try and find Ward. A little bit of a give and go. She has speed. Moving towards the goal. Puts it on net. Off the shoulder of Neufeld, who continues to look strong so far early in this one. Ward's in the corner chasing. Not able to get to it. Roulette's on it now. She'll hold it against the board. That'll be Earnhardt. She'll wrap it around the corner. Lowen with it now. Barstow puts it off the pad. A great chance there for the Trojans, nearly burying their first. Holman, and Neufeld is holding the Rustlers' lead on by a thread, and the score is still 1-0 Rustlers at the 12-minute mark of this one, despite the Trojans with 9 shots.
Well,
already.
If the Trojans can break through their win streak tonight, Olds and Nate are playing up against each other, and if Olds can lose and Trojans can win tonight, that means that the Trojans can move up in the standings there and take over Olds.
And while it is still early in the season, the standings matter a lot. That'll be Pilipow moving in, and she will bury it. And the Rustlers go up 2-0. And that will be her first goal of the season for the Rustlers. currently we've seen 2 goals from players who don't normally score for Lakeland. Maybe not somebody that Coach McLeod would have had on her list to watch, but they'll score nonetheless and put the Rustlers up 2-0. As this one's won by Ackencloss. Erdhart with it now. She'll jump it around, as that one will wrap around all the way into the corner. That'll be McKinnon. She'll try and keep it down there. Won't be able to. That one gets dumped right back in for McKinnon once again. She'll not be able to hold on to it as she'll get knocked off. With it now, that'll be Fries. Knocked down, a big hit, and we'll be having a penalty as the Trojans will be going on the power play. As they put out their top line, let's see what they can do with it. Still down by 2 goals. Still obviously early in this one, but this could be a big chance for them to potentially turn the momentum. Alexander in the face-off circle. She'll win it back to Ward. She'll walk it out to Erdhart. Erdhart chooses to give it back to Ward. Ward will walk it in. Chooses not to shoot. It'll get pulled off of her. She'll give it back to Erdhart. She has space. Decides to put it back into the corner for Alexander. Alexander will walk it in. Tipped on goal. Somehow not in the net. Roulette not able to bury it. And the Trojans still just held outside by incredible goaltending from Newfield. Erdhart will steal it with a chance. They'll muscle by Erdhart, but Roulette will come back and able to help out her defensive partner there. As they'll start to break out themselves. Still a minute 20 left on the power play for the Trojans. They'll start breaking it in with it now. They'll put it around the corner. That'll be Schnitzler chasing. That one goes long. Hayward will intercept. Give it to Alexander as the top line for the Trojans still out there. Fatigue might be becoming a factor. They've been out there for a total of a minute now as a whistle will be blown down. And they will be sending Piper Alexander to the box. Look like for tripping, as we will be having a minute of 4-on-4 and then a Rustlers power play. The Trojans' penalty kill has been fairly good this season. Won't have to worry about it for another minute, but still worth bringing up as we look towards a 4-on-4.
Both of these teams are playing really hard tonight, Simon, but you can just tell that the Trojans are trying to break through it into the Rustlers zone.
And they've been doing a really good job at that, already having 10 shots. Incredibly outshooting the Rustlers, which is not something we've seen a lot from the Trojans. Clearly something they've worked on plenty and have come into this one ready to potentially bury some. That's Carruthers putting it just above the left post. As she'll out-muscle the defender, walking it around, find someone in front, but it'll get tipped wide. Tried to find Hill, just not able to get it to her. Tries to find Holman with the saucer. Not quite able to find her. That one gets past D to D, and they start to break out once again off the skate of Carruthers. Stopped at center by Robertson, back to Williams. Williams finds Robertson again. Robertson walks it in, finds a chasing Rustlers forward who wasn't able to bury it. And that'll go right back to Cole as they start the breakout once again. That's Perry with speed. She has the outside corner, walking it in, and a beautiful save by Madison Fox. Keeps the Trojans in this one. Cole with it now on the outside. She'll walk it into the corner. Back to Cole, but not able to keep it inside. Will end up getting stopped at the blue line, back to Cole. We are seeing Ava Cole be a little bit of a power play quarterback for this Rustler squad off the pad of Morgan Falk. Cole with it in the corner, back to Shaw. Shaw finds Perry off the pad. Cole with it now, back to Shaw. Let's see what Shaw does with it. Over to Cole, Clapper, and just a little high as that one goes into the corner. And that will end the power play. Perry puts it in front of the goal. No one home, off the stick of a Rustler. And the Trojans will go off for a change as that will officially end the power play. As we are back at even strength at the 8-minute mark of this one. The score is 2-0 for Rustlers. Perry trying to change that, but not quite able to hit the goal. It's back in the corner. An incredible pass is stopped by Madison Fox, as a great pass from the corner finds Buziak up at the blue line, but Madison Fox read that one all the way. But that shot total has very quickly evened up, as the Rustlers have taken momentum in this first period and are looking like they're going to be holding on to it for dear life.
The Rustlers are a good team, sitting second right behind Nate in the ACAC standings here. The Trojans are fighting to keep control, though.
As that one goes down into the corner, wrapping around the back of the goal. She'll end up getting tripped up behind the goal, as we're going to see it blown down. Let's see who they decide to take. And that is going to be Brooklyn Saloweski. They'll end up taking it in the Trojan zone, sending out that top power play line for them. Out there for the Trojans will be Piper Alexander, Tamron Ward, and out there with them will be Cameron Cloette, a newcomer to that power play. Ward putting it back to Erdhart. Erdhart walking with it. She'll find Ward on the outside. Ward walks in with a defender on her. Goes cross ice, putting it in the corner for Roulette, who chases. Blocked the pass out of danger, and that one gets dumped back into the Trojan zone, as they'll have to reset things up. They'll put it around for Ward. Ward with it now. She'll try and walk it out herself. Goes long for Roulette, the defenseman moving up. That one gets stopped at the blue line, and they will call it offside as both teams take the opportunity to change. Currently at a minute 26.
We're definitely seeing some frustration on the ice, especially following last night's game. There's some tension between these two teams.
Yeah, and when you do a weekend series like this, you can see a lot of that. A lot of built-up aggression coming through for both squads. We'll have to see how that impacts the rest of the game, as we still have just about 2.5 periods to go in this one. With the Trojans have it in their own zone. That's Hayward walking out with it. She'll beat the first offender. Beat the second, or not quite, as she'll be forced off the puck. Sent back to Hullman. With it now, moving down the ice. That'll be Bolema. She'll end up pinning it against the boards. Multiple Lakeland players on it. Bolema will end up with it. She'll walk in, but she'll get hit off the puck, as Lakeland narrowly avoids breaking the Trojans, trying to break back into this one. A lot of great chances, but Neufeld has been there for all of them. Not a lot, not as much, I should say, offense for the Trojans so far in the second half of this first period. That one ends up behind the goal. That one will end up pinned in the corner. The Trojans end up with it. That'll be Kaylee with it. Put her around the corner. Finds Holman. Holman walks it out herself, finds Kaylee. She has space. Let's see what she does with it. She'll walk in, off the skate on the shot attempt. That one wraps around and into the corner, as Erdhart will take it. She'll choose to try and beat the attacking forward. Won't quite be able to, as that one gets put back around. Roulette with it now, sending it around. Not quite able to get it out, as the Trojans are forced back and will have to restart their breakout. The Rustlers on them. Erdhart chooses to take it herself off the boards and down the ice. And that one they will deem will be an icing. Amanda McLeod not happy with that call. As they will have a face-off in their own zone, as the ref convene at center ice, most likely talking about that icing call that we saw Amanda McLeod disagree with.
Looks like there's a little bit of a change of plans here, having the face-off center ice.
It looks like we will have multiple disagreeing refs, and they'll choose to just be fair about it, restart things here at center ice at the 5:36 mark of this first period. And that'll be Perry, one of the faster players for the Rustlers, walking in. Madison Fox follows that one all the way. She'll walk back around, walking in. Madison Fox with the paddle save to put that one wide. She'll walk in again, Smith with it, on goal again. Fox is there. The Rustlers hold on to it. They'll put it around. That's Buziak. She'll beat the first defender. That'll go off the skate of Akenclose. Smith with it. Will get tipped wide as she tried to put it on goal. Wrapped around. As that one's behind the goal. Perry with it. She'll get stopped. Put back in the corner for Perry. She'll walk it out. Decides to try and find someone in front. Not quite able to. And the Trojans will finally get it out, but they won't be able to take advantage of it as only one player able to come off the ice. Trojans forwards most likely very tired right now after that long forecheck. Let's see what they choose to do with it. Piker Alexander all by herself. She'll walk it in with speed over the blue line. She has all the room. Ends up in the corner as she'll get muscled off the puck. And they'll send that one high, trying to find Hill. Not quite able to, as that will be beat. Hayward with it now. So that one gets stopped at the blue line. That's Bolema. Ward steals the puck. Bolema finds Ward. She'll walk it in and off the side of the goal. As a near chance for the Trojans. They'll have it in front. Putting on goal once again. That one will be covered up by Neufeld. That will be one of the first shots of the second half of this period for the Trojans. Struggling offensively. They looked great in the first half of this period, but have struggled ever since. Reese, what do you think the Trojans need to do to restart their offense here and maybe start getting back into this game?
I think just keeping these Rustlers out of their zone and over into their side there. Looks like the goalie, who is Janae Neufeld and Rustlers, is having a great time keeping those pucks out of the net, which is not the greatest for the Trojans though, Simon.
Yeah, definitely not. When you run into a hot goaltender like Neufeld right now, it is definitely a struggle to get by her. The Trojans, but a lot of people, and a very common thing in the hockey world is just breaking through that wall once. They just need to get through the armor, and maybe they can start burying a couple. As Lowen will walk in with it, she'll have it on the boards. That one gets knocked into the corner. She'll walk it around. They'll end up blowing it down, and the Trojans are going back on the power play off the body check, I believe. That put Lowen in the corner. Going off now will be Ella Winger, the first-year forward from Rosetown, Saskatchewan. We'll have it in the offensive zone now. If they send out their second power play unit with 3 minutes left in this one, they'll have the power play for the majority of the end of this first period. Having it behind the goal is Madison Fox. They'll get wrapped around. Put back into the corner. As they'll send it around, that'll be Carruthers on it. Roulette gets the steal. She'll get tripped up. No call on the play. Cole with space. She'll get pickpocketed. Akenclose with it. Putting it on goal. Neufeld saw all of it. And will quickly cover it up. As we will be getting another face-off in the Trojan zone. And Reese, what do you think is making this Lakeland defense so strong and able to keep the Trojans out of their zone?
That's a good question. I mean, with
there's going to be another call there. Looks like it'll be hooking going off for the Trojans, not able to hold on to the rest of their power play. That'll be Lucy Akenclose.
Honestly, I think it's just coming down to the frustration on ice here. Looks like the players are taking it out on each other a little bit more.
Yeah, a lot of aggression, like you mentioned earlier. They did play last night. Maybe a lot of that is boiling over in this one. Maybe something to watch for the second period for Amanda McLeod, head coach of the SAIT Trojans. We'll be just talking about discipline. Staying out of the box, not getting involved when Lakeland tries to push their buttons. As Ward will have it back to Boliema. And we'll see how the speed of this Lakeland Rustlers team comes into effect. They'll walk it in. Stopped at the line there by Boliema as that one goes into the corner. With it now, Ward on it. Boliema with it again. She'll stop, give it to Ward. Ward tries to muscle Shaw off the puck. Won't be able to, as that one gets dumped back down. Boliema will have it at the boards. She tries to put it up the boards, able to out-muscle the player off the puck. Finds Alexander, it's one-on-one. Let's see what she's got. Tries to put it through the middle, and she'll end up getting called for a cross-check there. Nearly a good chance. It looked like what she was trying to do was put it through the skates of the defender there. Not quite able to, as she got her stick there first.
Well, Lakeland's came in strong at the beginning of this period, but now they're having a tough time getting that puck back into the Trojan zone.
As we're not going to see a lot of argument here from Piper Alexander on the call. As that one will be a 4-minute major. My only thoughts on why that would be if she made contact with the head. From our angle, I can't say that I necessarily saw that, but we'll just see what they can do with it. Cole puts it on goal. Stopped by Fox. As that one gets wrapped back around with it now. Cole, cross ice, Buziak. Fox has all of it. Has a lot of action in front of the goal. Trojans defense quickly surrounding their goaltender. Doing a good job protecting her there. As things are heating up here in the last minute. A lot of penalties on the board. Let's see what Lakeland can potentially do with it to keep building on their lead. Carruthers with it in her feet at the blue line. She'll send it blue D to D to Cole. Back to Cole. Clapped on goal, but just wide. Carruthers in front.
Well, working with this double penalty is not something the Trojans want right now, especially at the end of this period.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of preparation you can do for a 5-on-3. Obviously, you just do your best to hold on to that triangle, hold formation, and make sure that the majority of the shots for the Rustlers are on the outside. As they'll break their way back in. Walking with it now. We are in the last minute of this one. That one goes all the way around. Put on net by Williams just above the goal. Carruthers with it now. Tipped wide. That one goes into the corner. Robertson trying to find someone in the corner. No one home. Carruthers knocked off the puck and the Trojans get it back. And they'll choose to ice it, sending it all the way down. And that might do it for the first period here with only 10 seconds on the clock. Let's see if Lakeland can maybe do some last-minute magic. As that one's at their own blue line, they'll try and find someone inside. She'll walk it in, and they will call it offside. Not necessarily what you would like to see if you are that forward walking in for Lakeland, wanting to potentially get a last-minute shot in there. But it is looking like the final score for this first period will be 2-0 Lakeland. Shots are tied up 12-12 as they end up dumping it in, and that will officially do it.
Well, if the Trojans can stay out of the box next period and continue playing like how they did in that second half, I think they have a good shot on goal there.
Yeah, for sure. And we saw a lot of good things in the first half of that first period for the Trojans, doing an excellent job. It was just when the Rustlers scored that second goal is when we really saw the momentum kind of switch.
Absolutely.
We're just going to have to see what the Trojans can do to maybe win that back, get their offense going again. We'll just have to see what Amanda McLeod can say to her team in this intermission. We'll be right back with you after this 15-minute break. Hello and welcome back. I'm Simon Chaskovsky. Alongside me, I've got Reese Tenhove, and we are minutes away here from the second period. Quite an interesting first period as we saw the Rustlers go ahead by 2 goals. We are currently tied up in shots. Reese, what have you thought of that last period so far?
Well, we saw quite the repeat compared to yesterday night's game where the Rustlers were also up 2 during the first period. However, SAIT had less than half the amount of shots on net. So we're really seeing them come back here, and I'm expecting them to come back strong.
Yeah, and that's something that's always really important, is peppering that goaltender as much and as often as you can when you're down, because especially when that goaltender currently has a 0 on the scoreboard. It's really important that you really get as many shots on there as possible, break her down, and potentially get one behind her as the players start to take the ice here. What do you think the Trojans need to do here to potentially break into this lead that the Rustlers have built?
We saw some good playing in that second half of the period there, but what really set the Trojans behind was just ending up back in that box and giving the Rustlers those power plays. So if they can focus on the game, stay out of each other's business here, and just play, they're going to get ahead.
Yeah, and I'm sure if either of us were able to be a fly on the wall in that locker room, the main thing we would have heard is discipline, discipline, discipline for both squads, frankly, as the Trojans will be starting this second period on the penalty kill for 2 minutes and 24 seconds. We'll have to see if they can kill that one. Well, and if you're the Rustlers, obviously, you will be trying to bury one, as it's quite literally as simple as that, just getting by them early, as we're still waiting for the Trojans to take the ice. We'll have to see when they end up coming out here.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on as well. Piper Alexander, one of the Trojans' best players, was in the box twice last period.
Yeah, and that's always something that's very tough. And like you said, Alexander, one of the Trojans' quicker players as well, which is someone who you want out there for the penalty kill when you have less players on the ice. You want someone who can keep up with the Carruthers, with the Coles, with all of these players on the Rustlers who have that extra step, who can beat most of the players on your team. The last person you want in the box is Piper Alexander. So we are still waiting on the Trojans, who are a little tardy to get back on the ice here. As we're now seeing the coaching staff start to make their way out, and Madison Fox is leaving the locker room. We're starting to get worried that we might be seeing a very one-sided second period there, but I think we're gonna be all right as the Trojans are starting to make their way out now. We'll have to see what happens as the second period is
it's going to be an interesting one, Simon.
Definitely, as this might be the turning point. Will the Trojans make a comeback, or will the Rustlers hold on and walk out of Winsport undefeated on the weekend?
Both teams currently have 12 shots on each other's nets. So they're, aside from the goals here, pretty much neck and neck.
Yeah, and the Rustlers have really, I have to say, maybe to them, surprisingly, this game is close. Take off the goals, this game has been very, very close.
Which is such a funny thing to say, but considering that the Rustlers only scored during the first half of that period, if they're playing like that second half, we'll just have to watch and see.
And we'll have Auchincloss taking the face-off against Carruthers. She'll win it. And it'll get knocked down the ice for Cole. Auchincloss chasing. That's Cole on it now. She'll go down the boards. And she'll get taken out. No call on the play there, as Madison Fox is out to play it. They'll send it up the board for McKinnon. McKinnon's not able to retrieve it. Back into the corner, sending it up ice. And it'll get blocked as the Trojans' power play, or penalty kill unit, will be out there for the next 2 minutes. We'll have to see what they can do to shut down the Rustlers, who quickly ice the puck there. A lot of hands in the air. Not happy about that. Head coach Morgan Mann not thrilled to see them go down the ice, as the refs are going to convene again. We'll have to see what they end up doing. It looks like the players are already lining up at center, almost like they're expecting the referee's call to be a mistake again, which would make 2 wrong icings. Not exactly a good start for the refs. Normally we don't keep stats for them, but in this case we will. Kaylee will lose the face-off here to Carruthers at center as they move back into their own zone to set things up. They find Carruthers up the middle, not quite able to beat the defenders. It gets sent back to the blue line, moving into the corner. They've got it now with space and time. Back up to Cole. She'll decide to shoot it into the corner as they start to set it up. That's Robertson down low, putting it up through the middle. Kaylee's there, and the Trojans hold on to it for a second, but not for long. As it gets put back up, that's Buziak. Moved across to Cole. She'll wind up back into the corner for Carruthers. Down inside, walking it in and putting it high, but not able to put it in behind Fox as it ends up in the corner. As so far, we've seen a lot of chances for the Rustlers, but nothing solid on net. Still 12 shots on the big board. She'll walk it in. Buziak.
Well, not lots for certain with this period, but we can see the Rustlers have had a lot of time with that puck.
And that's very common with the power plays we've seen them really take advantage of the time on ice that they've gotten in the Trojan zone, just not able to get anything on goal. We've seen them struggle to even really hit Madison Fox's pads. Obviously not necessarily what you want when you're trying to score, but it's a start as they start to move back into their own zone.
Almost looks like a little bit of a quality over quantity from them.
Maybe it could be something a lot to do with that, where they're just trying to bury or get as many on Madison Fox, who has looked really good so far in this one. Parries with it. He'll send it up high to Baril. Down to Williams, who's not quite able to get it by the defending Buliema. Williams with it now. Puts it down into the corner for Shaw. She has space. Let's see what she does with it. She'll walk with it. Out to Baril. Back down to Shaw. She'll walk in. On goal and tipped wide. They'll end up getting it right back, and that will end the power play for the Rustlers. The puck is back in the corner. That's Earnhardt with it now. That one is going to end up getting wrapped around. Schnitzler with it. And the momentum is firmly in the grasp of the Rustlers. We'll have to see what the Trojans can potentially do at the 17-minute mark of this one to potentially get it back. Did an excellent job on the penalty kill, not allowing a single official shot on their goaltender, Madison Fox, in that entire 2 minutes and 46 seconds. That one's in the corner. She'll have it now. Sending it down, trying to get it to Ward. That one sent up high. They'll dump it in. Ward's on the puck. Bounces right off. A little bit of frustration there. They weren't able to hold it in the Rustler zone. She'll send it up the board. That one gets sent down the ice by Michaela Pilipau. Behind the goal now with it as they start to break out. She'll have Ward on the wing with it at the blue line. Not able to find Alexander as they'll get stuck with it. With it now, Ward making her way up over the red line, but it'll get intercepted as Elvis Pilipau moving her way in. Sent on goal. Hill not able to bury it. Sent outside. That's Ward. Intercepted by that one gets knocked across the crease there. Petrie with it. Sent down. That's Alexander. Pinned up against the boards. As they try and get it out. That one beats the defender. And we will have an icing as the Trojans forwards out there will have to stay on the ice.
Well, 5 minutes into this period, and there still have not been any official shots on net.
Not necessarily something that you see very often, especially from an offensively stacked team like Lakeland, who has done an excellent job, which they had around 40 shots in last game, if I believe I'm right. And
yes, that was 46 shots for the Rustlers last game there.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Obviously, a very good offensive team. Alexander gets stopped at the blue line. We'll have to see if maybe the Rustlers can up their production on the offensive side and maybe get closer to that 40-shot mark. Ward gets the steal. She moves over the red line, chooses to dump and chase, but not able to beat the defender. Buziak with a nice move. She'll walk it in herself. And that one goes over the left post. Up to Cole. She'll wind up at fire. No one home, is not quite able to get it on the goal. Still no shots on the big board for Lakeland on this period so far. It's in the corner now. With it, that is Lammers. Lammers finds Buziak. Cross to Cole. Cole trying to find Lammers inside. Not able to put it on net. Is now retrieving with it. That'll be Bombach. Bombach trying to find Lowen. Lowen with it. She'll dump it down. And that right there is the first shot of the second period.
Well, I mean, this time last period, I think there was, what, already one goal?
One goal, about 10 shots each?
Yeah, I think so.
There's definitely been a lot of action in this second period. Just not a lot of shots, as that little dump and chase by the Trojans will have been the first shot on goal as we finally see it on the board. Now with it in the Rustler zone, maybe a little momentum. They have it in front. Barstow not able to bury it. Roulette! And they're not able to grab the rebound. A very near chance for the Trojans there. It was narrowly avoided by the Rustlers as Carruthers puts it down. Barstow with it. She'll send it outside. She's got some people with her, but not able to find someone as Carruthers will steal it at the red line. That's Robertson with it now, walking in. That's Campen. They'll get it out to Burrill. Campen down with it now. Putting it on goal for Madison Fox. A little bit of chatter in front of the goal between both squads. We are at the 13-minute mark of this one. Now on the board, we can fully see that through 7 minutes, only 2 shots on either goaltender in this one. We just have to see what Lakeland have to say about that, but they won't be able to say much as it'll quickly get stolen by the Trojans. But sent right back down as Schnitzler's on it, stolen by Carruthers. She'll walk it in. Ooh, as the backhand just not quite able to find that top left corner. That one goes off of the shoulder, I believe, of Brooklyn Soloweski and out of bounds. This face-off will be taken by Shaw, taking on Akenclose. Akenclose, not quite able to win it. That's Eden now. She'll walk it in herself, dumping and chasing. Hayward will be the first one there. She'll go behind the goal, find someone at the wing. Smith breaking in. That's McKinnon with it now. Akenclose puts it on goal, but that one gets blocked in front. This one's taken by Perry. Tries the wraparound, hits the side of the goal. Tries to put it in front for Smith. No one home. Shaw tries to dig for it, not able to get it. Smith with it now. She'll walk it in. Tries to put it on goal. It'll get blocked. McKinnon. Smith gets the steal once again. They somehow keep it in, but not for long as the Trojans finally get the puck out of their own zone. And that will be a long icing there as the puck will go back into the Trojans, or into the Rustlers zone, sorry. Maybe a good chance for the Trojans here. And they'll quickly send out their top defensive pairing. We're seeing Coach Amanda McLeod maybe put some of the lines here at Winsport in the blender, as we're starting to see a couple different pairings out there. As we're seeing Erdhart out there with Emily Fries, the first year. With it now, that's Vader. She'll dump it in. Bolema chasing. Brewer applying pressure. Smith with it now. She has space. Walking in with it. Tries to beat Erdhart. Not quite able to. Erdhart with it. She'll get the steal, moving towards the center ice. As she'll walk it up. Trying to do it all herself, but not quite able to. Vader with it now. Not quite able to make it through center. That's Bolema with a couple nice moves. She'll walk it in off the boards, chasing herself into the corner on Cole. Brewer with it. Tries to hand it off to Bolema. Bolema with it now. She'll have it inside. Up to Vader. Not able to release the puck there. They dump it back in. That's Hayward. That'll be Vader on the puck. Bolema with it now. She'll walk around the outside. It'll get stopped. Hayward dumps it back into the corner. Brewer's there. Brewer's with it. Let's see what she does. She decides to try and find a chasing Holman, but not quite able to get it to her, as now we're seeing the Rattlers start to break out. Now that's Hill. Not able to put it on goal. Madison Fox is there, and she'll cover it up at the 11-minute mark of this one. Currently, the score is 2 Rustlers, Trojans 0. They have 15 shots on the goal to the Trojans 14.
Well, halfway through this period, and we're seeing a lot of back and forth between the two teams here.
Yeah, definitely a more even period. We're seeing both teams definitely get their chances, but if the Trojans really want to take advantage here, they will have to really step on the gas and maybe take control of a little bit of momentum here at Winsport. Erdhart with it now. It'll get stolen by Holman. Holman walks it in with space. Let's see what she does with it. Tries to find an inside pass. Not quite able to. Barstow with it. They'll get the puck back. Barstow with it again. Puts it back in the corner for Holman. Holman gets muscled off the puck. Barstow's there, blocking it. Let's see. She can keep it into the corner. Putting it around the goal and back around. Holding it there. And there is Appel, who gets stolen by Erdhart. She'll walk it out herself, but it'll get stolen right there. So they get it right back. That's Barstow with it now. Covered up by Madison Fox. Another example of maybe a little bit of mixing up for the Trojans. We're going to see Piper Alexander out there with McKinnon, and I believe the third player out there will be Isabella Hayward. On the wing now.
The Trojans seem to be having a much better time keeping that puck out of their zone.
Yeah, they've done an excellent.
I say as the puck goes back into their zone.
The announcer's curse does exist. That one goes back into the corner, but yeah, that's a very good point. The Trojans have done an excellent job defensively to keep the puck out of their own zone. We're also seeing them hold on to the puck for longer in the Rustlers zone as the Rustlers continue to hold it in their zone. Let's stop talking about the Trojans offense for a bit. as they have it in the corner, finally getting the steal. Alexander with it now. She'll start moving out. Breaking over the blue line. She has space as a very near chance there is stopped by the blue line. As that'll be Lucy Ackencloss out there with Kaylee, as well as Jessa Brewer. As the Trojans continue to switch things up. Brewer knocking it in deep. Cole on it. Brewer slips up, but able to force the puck as the Rattlers make their way out. That's Buziak walking in through the skates of Schnitzler. Whoa. Madison Fox is taken out by a falling, I believe that is Buziak. Madison Fox is still down, but it looks like she is quickly getting back up. Plays like that can always be scary. We'll have to see what the call on the play will be for the referees. Looks like they won't be giving a call
unfortunately,
on that one. No goaltender interference will end up being the final say. That one gets won at the face-off circle by the Rustlers. Couple of nice quick passes. Buziak puts it on goal. Tipped high and wide. Smith will get it in the corner now. She'll walk it out. Takes it back. Walking in off the hand. Cole puts that one back into the corner. That one is Shaw's there. And once again, we'll see another player for the Rustlers falling into Madison Fox, who they have yet to beat so far in the last 22-ish minutes of this one, as she continues to stand strong and hold the Trojans just 2 goals out of this one. That'll be.
Now the question is, can the Trojans get the Rustlers out of their zone and get some more shots on net, hopefully bypassing their goalie there?
Yeah, we saw them be really successful in that in the first half of this period, but with the same story as the first period, not as much success through the first 2 minutes of this second half. Bolema with it now, making as the Trojans look to make us eat our words. They have it in the corner. Alexander's on it. Puck ends up high. It's right by the boards. Earnhardt on it now. Chased by Burrill. She'll walk it out now by herself. Trying to find Alexander on the outside. She's got space. She's got Vader with her. Stops and puts it in the corner as she reverse hits Petrie. That one gets dumped down. Roulette with it. Won't quite be able to get enough of it as that one gets put into the Trojan zone. Petrie chasing. She'll walk it around. That's Barstow on it now. Barstow will end up putting it out. She'll take the puck. She has space and speed. Players on her though. Let's see what she can do.
Question is, who can she pass
gets pushed
to
into
over there?
The boards. There's a new Trojans forward lineup out there. Let's see if they can take advantage of the fatigue for the Rustlers as they have it in the corner now. Breaking out is Holman. Puts it on goal for Barstow, but not quite able to find her. Hayward winds up. puts it wide. Let's see if the Trojans can keep it in. They can't, and Lakeland has a chance. Lammers is on it now. She has help. She'll walk it in off the shoulder of Fox. And Wingard has it now in the corner, putting it up high to Cole. Putting it across to Buziak. She already has one. She walks it in, puts it, and tipped wide. That one gets put back into the corner. Schnitzler on it. It's in the corner once again now.
There sure is a fight for getting the puck over there.
Definitely quite a bit of aggression from both squads to try and hold on to possession. We've already seen quite a few turnovers in the Trojan zone now. Gets knocked out to Buziak. She'll try and make the same move. Lowen not letting her. The Trojans start to break out. Barstow with it now. Let's see what she does. She has space walking in. Not able to beat the defensive line there as Roulette gets the quick interception on the pass for Apple. Ward tips it inside. Buziak's there. That one gets sent over. And let's see what they can do. They'll walk it in. That one's tipped wide again. Or not quite wide. But it definitely makes the shot on Madison Fox easier, as that puts the total up to 20 on Madison Fox. 18 saves. An impressive night, to say the least, as she continues to shine through on a Trojans team that keeps looking for answers on how to get back into this one against the Rustlers. Carruthers win it. Burrell inside. Into the corner now, Earnhardt with it on the wall. Chasing off the shin pad into the corner for Carruthers. And a bit of a mistake there, as I'm not sure if there was a tip inside, but as far as my eyes could tell, it looked like Carruthers just scored from the goal line. It looks like they're going to say it was a tip, as they are going to give that one to Calla Campen.
And that is Calla Campen's first goal of the season as well, Simon.
Yeah, and her 4th point. She has had quite the season so far for the Rustlers, as we see Amanda McLeod on the Trojans bench giving a speech trying to rally the troops, if you will, on how to get back in this one, as they are quickly starting to look on the outside at the 5-minute mark of the second period. Certainly looked better in the second period, to say the least, but that's better isn't enough when you're facing a team like Lakeland. Hack and close. It's going to be in the face-off circle. Against Carruthers. Just had the assist on the goal by Campen. She'll tie her up as they break in once again. That's Robertson. Campen's with her. Won't be able to find Campen, as she was looking for her second in one shift. They start to break out. That's Earnhardt. Burrell keeps it inside. They'll have it in the corner now. That's Roulette. The Trojans try and start their breakout. Not quite able to, as it gets tipped back inside. Earnhardt.
A little bit of a tumble in the corner over there.
The Trojans start to break out. Earnhardt still down in the corner, but she gets up. Referee checks on her. Everything appears to be all right. The puck's now in the corner. The Trojans go off for a change. Earnhardt favoring that left leg there. Hopefully she's all right. Kaylee breaks in. We'll do a little dump and chase, a little bouncer on goal. Not able to get by. And it'll get blown down. They're going to call a tripping penalty. Who is it on? And it's the Rustlers. And if the Trojans ever needed a goal, now's the time to do it, as they will have a 2-minute power play.
The Trojans have not been able to get a whole lot of shots on the net so far this period, but hopefully this power play will give them a bit of the upper hand here.
For sure, definitely helps when trying to get those chances. Still get it at the blue line now. Winding up his Hayward, puts it into the corner with it in front of the goal, but not quite able to do much with it. Barstow keeps it inside. They'll keep it at the blue line, but not quite able to keep it in, as Schnitzler will pass it back. Sending it inside. They're going to, I thought they might be nice and give it to her there, but it But she was already leaving the zone, but obviously that's not how hockey rules work. They're going to end up taking the face-off back to the...
Well, the question is, can the Trojans get the puck out of their zone here on this power play?
Bit of an interesting decision here from the officials on the ice to bring the puck back into the Trojans' own zone. Has me a little confused on what the call might have been, but... As a couple nice moves behind the goal. Barstow, they start the breakout. She has Vader with her. She'll get out-muscled off the puck by Perry, and a high stick there. The Trojans will be losing their power play due to their discipline for the third time tonight, as it'll get cut short, and we will have 1:25 on the penalty kill. Sadly, a very common theme so far through this one has been the discipline. We talked about that at the end of the first period. We'll be talking about it at the end of the second.
Well, and in the box is Sage Barstow, one of the Trojans' top players there.
And somebody we often see on that penalty kill for the Trojans. Definitely hurts, to say the least, as they'll have to take the face off in their own zone. Knocking it back to Fries. Making it around their own zone. Bit of a mishap there, but able to retrieve it. Breaking in now is Alexander. They have it behind the net. Alexander's got it. She'll walk out with it. She has a little bit of space. Decides to give it back to Bolema. She's going to wind up and fire off the shin pad of the defender. Bolema's there to keep it inside. Sending it down for Fries, the defender, who's deep in the offensive zone. As a big hit in the corner there. Akenclaus sent up to Bolema. Bolema keeps it inside. Sends it down to Akenclaus. Akenclaus decides to tip it towards the goal, but no one there to retrieve it. Alexander on the outside to try and block the puck. Won't quite be able to, as there is 30 seconds left in this 4-on-4 period. Perry with it on the boards. Stolen. The Trojans starting to break out. Bolema not quite able to. And a good chance, potentially. Robertson walking in, not able to beat Roulette with a great defensive play using the back of her stick to prevent the chance there, as it'll get dumped in, and the Trojans won't be able to go off for a change. 4 seconds on this 4-on-4 period. This could be bad, potentially, for the Trojans. We'll have to see what they can do to get the puck out of their zone quick, because if they get pinned down on the power play, tired, this could be dangerous. Let's see what they can do about it. Alexander walking it around, dumps it. As the Rustlers begin to set up, tipped out, Buziak with a nice move, walking it with it herself, beats Akenclaus for a second time, tips it on goal, couple people there, tipped wide. As that one gets put into the corner. Cole to Buziak. Buziak in the corner, that's Carruthers. Robertson puts it too far. And the Trojans are going to get a chance to change now, as the penalty kill will end. Alexander goes off. And it looks like they will be going right to the box, and that has to be heartbreaking if you're sitting on that Trojans bench. While their penalty kill has been excellent, I don't know how much you want to necessarily be showing that off when you're down by 3. Here in the second period here, the Rustlers once again up by 3. Trojans not quite out of it yet, though. Still plenty of time. We've got one more period to go after this one. Madison Fox, getting a tap from her teammates, has done an excellent job, saving 19 of 22.
Well, in these last 5 minutes, we're definitely seeing that frustration come back from the players on the ice.
Trojans not exactly happy with their position in this game. They had to begin last night on the down by 2. Obviously not happy to be down by 2, or down by 3 here, as that one gets broken in. Barrel, she'll walk it around. Williams with it now. Williams not able to hold on to possession, as that'll get stolen by Hayward, who sends it all the way down the ice. As the Trojans will force the Rustlers to restart their power play here. Skating it up the ice. Chased by Lowen, knocked off, clapping it down the ice, as Barrel is forced to grab it once again. with speed. That's Pillapow. Pillapow with it. She'll take it on the outside now. Williams. Walking it in is Hill, who's not quite able to find Petrie inside. Walking around is the Rustlers, only 30 seconds on the clock. They'll have to take their power play into the third period, sorry. Williams knocked off the puck by Brewer, who dumps it. And there's 20 seconds on the clock now. We'll just have to see what Lakeland, stolen. McKinnon walking in, and that is stopped. Potentially the best chance the Trojans have had all night to potentially bury it. Not quite able to. As with 13 seconds on the clock, they'll be getting a short-handed face-off in their zone. We'll have to see who they send out to try and take advantage of it. We're going to see Erdhart and Roulette out there to defend. They'll win the face-off and immediately put it right on goal for Neufeld, who immediately covers it up. And we'll be repeating that one right away. Out there for the forwards is Holland. Roulette off the board, finds Campen, not able to put it in front, and that will do it for the second period of this one. The score is 3-0 for the Rustlers, who are firmly in the driver's seat here at Winsport, but the Trojans are not out of it yet. There's still a period to go. Reese, what did you think of that second period?
Well, we definitely saw some different playing there with not nearly as many shots on net by either team. However, once again, Lakeland was able to get a goal in the net. So we can only guess and see how the Trojans are going to be able to come back to this one next period.
And maybe part of that is just having played 5 straight periods against each other. Quite a lot. Exactly 100 minutes against each other. I think maybe that has a factor. They've both kind of learned each other's play styles. They know what to expect. We're just going to have to see what both teams can do to either take this lead or hold on to it, as we'll have the third period coming up next in just 15 minutes. In, Robertson up high. Back up to Robertson. She's going to walk in and fire. That one goes just wide, but Madison Fox followed it all the way.
Well, unfortunately for the Trojans, Lakeland is on a 6-game win streak.
Yeah, and they have looked really good in that 6-game win streak as they look to make it 7 tonight. We'll see what the Trojans can say about that in the rest of this third period. They break out of their own zone now at the red line. Carruthers making her way inside. She's got space, trying to find someone inside. Madison Fox dives for it. It'll be called a goal as she dives and puts it behind Madison Fox. A lot of things happening quickly there. I was kind of wondering if we would be seeing a potential goaltender interference call there. Not a lot of action between the referees as they quickly seem to be perfectly all right with their call of it being a goal, as Madison Fox did dive out of the crease, which makes it harder to be all right with that call, as it's a little hard to, when the goaltender pushes themselves out of position to make the save, it's hard to suggest that the forward might have interfered with that attempt. So I think the referees there on the play were very all right with calling it a goal. The Rustlers are now up 4-0.
Well, it's always tough to open up with that period with a goal. Super quick there, at least for the Trojans.
They have it back behind the goal. Putting it around, Smith has it. The Trojans will intercept it now at the boards. Perry puts it by her.
Trojans are going to be working hard now to try and not have another repeat right there.
Yeah, and one thing, and we talked about this, we're going to keep talking about it, discipline. The Trojans have to stay out of the box. It's important in any comeback. You are going to need every second of this last 18 and 44 minutes. 18 minutes, 44 seconds. That explains it a bit better. But you're going to need every second of that. You can spend none of it in the penalty box, and I'm sure head coach Amanda McLeod made sure to touch on that in the locker room as they get ready for the face-off. We will be seeing Piper Alexander taking on Alyssa Shaw. Alexander wins it. As the Trojans go D-to-D on their own blue line. Alexander chasing it as they dump it inside. 4-1, and like you predicted, they are right back in this one.
Well, this is an exciting moment for the Trojans here.
And the momentum has quickly shifted in this building. The Trojans bench just a little louder. Life is not done. We're seeing a bit more life in the building. The Rustlers starting to break out. Trojans at their own blue line. They get dumped into their own zone now behind the goal. Retrieving it, making their way up the boards. Off the back of the net. And that one will go off the stick and into the netting. Like quite a few Trojans players a little bit happier to be on the ice now after scoring that last goal.
Now if they can just keep up that energy for the rest of the game here.
Yeah, morale is definitely higher now as the Rustlers quickly break in. They want to quickly take the momentum back that they've had for most of this one. The Trojans finally in the driver's seat. They need 3, but in 17 minutes, that is definitely doable. That goes off the glass into their zone. The Trojans trying to get it into the Rustlers zone there, but that one will end up going into the netting, and there will be a face-off at the Rustlers blue line. As both teams decide to make a change. Hack and close on it. Trojans will win it on the tie-up. Cole gets the steal. Moving to the center is Lammers. She'll walk in, putting it high. That one goes wide, though. Trojans, good job on defense to make sure that Lammers was not able to take advantage of that chance. Hayward with speed, not able to quite muster to put it in herself. McKinnon ends up being the one to do it, as it's now deep in the Rustler zone as they start to break out. That's a Pell with it. Trying to find someone in the center, no one home. Schnitzler. They'll end up sending a high one, trying to find McKinnon down the middle. No one home once again. Trojans struggling to find forwards up high and get this going. Back and close, off the stick of McKinnon, in the legs of a Rustler defender. They will have it at the blue line now. Erdhart keeps it alive. That's Barstow with speed. She only has to beat one. She'll walk it in off the pad of Neufeld. As that will be put into the corner. Roulette. And that one gets dumped and chased. They start to break out now. They'll beat Erdhart. Erdhart gets the puck right back, though.
We're seeing some good passes by the Trojans here.
Yeah, definitely, as they start to get in on offense, putting it on goal. Neufeld tried to show her the glove, not quite able to get a hand on it. As now Carruthers walking it in herself, only has to beat 2, putting it on goal. Madison Fox is right there. As she ends up having her glove knocked out off her hand. The Trojans will now have the face-off in their own zone now, sending out back out the top line. That's Piper Alexander, Vader, and Hayward. Sent in towards the goal off the stick of Fox and into the corner. Hayward. Alexander gets it over by the boards. Hayward once again will chase and force the icing. And we're gonna have to see a potentially tired Lakeland forced to stay on the ice now. As the Trojans will make a change, sending out the fresh line of Bolema, Brewer, and Ward. Let's see if they can take advantage of maybe a little bit of fatigue. Bolema will have it now. She'll take the face-off. She'll lose it in the Rustlers zone. A lot of pressure there. Ward has it. She decides to send it up to the defender up high. Earnhardt with it. Puts it down deep on goal. Not quite able to beat the defender, though. Bolema, she'll put a backhand on goal. No one home for the rebound, and a near chance for the Trojans is just narrowly put wide. Perry nearly intercepts. She's on the attack. She gets the steal. Smith with her. Finds Smith, and they will bury it to take back the momentum here at Winsport. As just a little under the 15th minute, the Rustlers are back on the board.
Already only 5 minutes into this period, and a lot has happened here, Simon.
A lot happened. And already 2 goals early in this one. We'll have to see if maybe the Trojans can continue this scoring streak that both teams have started in the 3rd period. Maybe both teams just figuring out the goaltenders a little bit more. If they send it in deep, that'll be Kaylee Saloweski. And they put it on goal. Not quite able to bury it. They have it there. That's Schnitzler. Close has it. They fight for it on the blue line. The Rustlers trying to keep it out of their zone. Multiple Trojans in the pileup. It gets taken. She'll get tripped up. And the Trojans are heading back to the box, but not yet. Looks like we will be seeing the Rustlers trying to take advantage of an extra man. They walk it in, putting it on goal. Madison Fox is there. And that gets put into the corner. Maybe a little bit of frustration after that last goal. That will be McKinnon, the first-year forward, going to the box. Carruthers taking the face-off now, out to Cole. Cole sends it back to Cole, winding up and firing, tipped high, but too high as that one's not quite on goal. With it behind the goal now. Reimers walking in. Madison Fox follows her the whole way. She'll decide to send it out to Cole. Over to Buziak. Winding up. That one goes wide. Cole's there to retrieve. Cole will walk it in. Sends it into Lamers. Lamers blocked as the Trojans potentially start their breakout. As at a minute 30, the Rustlers will have to restart their power play. Lowen gets taken. Carruthers one-on-one. Not able to beat Earnhardt.
One minute remaining in this power play here, and all the Trojans need is to just keep that puck away from Lakeland.
And we'll see if they can continue to do that as they end up sending a clapper down the ice. As that will waste some more clock on this penalty kill of theirs. They have 50 seconds left. With McKinnon still in the box. She'll walk it in herself. Beats the 2 defenders. Backhand on goal. Not able to beat Fox. As Buziak sends it back. Buziak once again sent to Williams. Williams sent inside. As that one goes wide. And around the back of the net. Stop there at the blue line. Buziak. As she's going to give it right back to Buziak. Sending it across to Williams. Back to Buziak. She'll send a slapper. It's tipped wide. That one's in the corner once again. As that will do it for the power play for Lakeland as McKinnon enters the play. Not quite able to take advantage of her position up high in the zone. As she'll get the steal. With speed, she has space. Can she beat Williams? She has the edge. Williams will get back. and the Rustlers stop that chance. Akin close, one-on-one. She takes it in, and just wide. The Trojans miss that chance. 2 near chances for them. Erdhart with it, sending it back to Roulette. Back to Erdhart. Erdhart will walk it up herself. She'll send a high one. That'll be Akin close, keeping it in. She'll end up putting it towards the goal, but it'll get tipped wide. McKinnon back around the goal now. Akin close chases. That one will go all the way down the ice. Won't be an icing. Oh, it will. As we will see, the Trojans have to restart their offense in the Rustlers zone. Maybe the Rustlers a little fatigued now after the icing, not able to change.
With 10 minutes remaining in this period, there is a lot of energy on this ice.
They'll win the face-off. Ward with it, puts it on goal, tipped wide. Saloweski in the corner now. Will get kept in. Ward not able to keep it in twice. That one gets put around. Put deep inside the Rustlers zone as the Trojans look to chase. Ward will get the steal inside the corner. Gets taken back by the Rustlers. Brewer on it. Carruthers. She'll beat Bolema, finding someone, and they'll call her offside as she took that step just a second too early. And we will be getting a face-off right there on the blue line. The Rustlers have quickly taken a lead in the shot department, up to almost 30 compared to the Trojans' 20. 10:27 left in this one. Carruthers will take on Holman in the face-off circle. That's put in deep. Stopped by Soloweski. Put up. Goes all the way down the ice. And we will be calling no icing as it'll be taken by the Rustlers. Put on goal, tipped, but not able to get it on goal. That one goes up. Put back into the zone for the Trojans now. With it behind the goal, that's Hayward. Carruthers gets the steal. Trying to find someone in the Trojan zone. Able to find Pilipau. Lowen sent up to Barstow. Barstow with the puck. She has possessions. Puts it behind the goal for Huhlman. Not able to find someone in front. She gets knocked down at the boards. As they have it, Lakeland breaking in. She has a step, but not able to find that top left corner as that one will go wide. That one's in the corner now. Alexander, the speedy center, making her way in. Trying to beat Shaw, but she'll get muscled off the puck. As it ends up behind the goal as they start their breakout. Put up high, Roulette walks in, not able to hold on to it, as she will end up getting taken down at center. There will be a call, and the Trojans will be going on the power play. It's a bit of a dangerous hit there at center. Roulette got up. She's looking okay. Maybe a chance to get a bit of momentum back for the Trojans.
Hopefully this power play is exactly what the Trojans need to get back on their feet here.
As it gets sent long, that's Lowen on it. With it now, they start to make their way around. As it gets sent into the corner. The Trojans with it now, haven't quite able to take advantage of the power play they've had here. Holman, She has space. No one there. She takes advantage of it. She ends up getting it in the corner.
Rustlers are just trying to get that puck out of their zone here, but the Trojans are fighting hard.
That's Hayward, tipped on goal. Trojans not quite able to bury it, it's still in front. No, not quite able to take advantage of the chance. Vader's there in the corner, Alexander as well. Not able to keep it inside. And there will be a call. And it looks like they will end up saying that they messed up the icing call, because there obviously shouldn't have been an icing on a power play. As that mistake could be costly. We'll see what happens here. That goes off the boards. Stopped there at the line. Sent back in. As they make their way down the ice. Bit of a hit on the boards. As they will have it behind the goal and making their way up. And that goes all the way down the ice. And the Trojans' power play is ticking down. Only 30 seconds left. Hayward. With it now, moving through the offensive zone. Finding the corner, that's Smith. Smith on it, goes all the way around. Ward in the corner. She'll hold on to it. She'll decide to keep it herself. Keeps it inside the blue. Walking it in, taking it herself, walking in, finds the top right corner, and an impressive goal there.
That's right in the last second of this power play here.
Brings the Trojans back within 3. As Tamron Ward does it all herself there to get her 2nd goal of the year. As just like yesterday, the Trojans able to score 2 goals in this 3rd period. Just maybe too little too late. But nonetheless, it's a sign of life. Let's see what they've got in the remaining 6 minutes.
Oh, the Trojans can keep this up. There's still 6 minutes left in this period. So who knows?
And then it'll get covered up, but not for long as it ends up back behind the goal. On it now is Bolema. She'll find Ward, the goal scorer. Trying to get it over the red line. She will and end up dumping it down. Retrieved there. They'll have it now. That'll be Kaylee. They'll get sent across to Erdhart. Intercepted. Hill with it. She'll walk in and blown down offside. At the 5:48 mark, the score is 5 goals to 2, with Lakeland firmly in the driver's seat after a late goal by the Trojans. Philippou walking in with it. They'll have it now. That's McKinnon. McKinnon, Akin close. McKinnon will take it herself. Off the blocker, it's in front. They can't take advantage of the chance, as a chance to maybe bring them back within 2. That's turned awry. Buziak walking in, not able to bury it. The Trojans have it once again. That's Hayward. Finds McKinnon. Up the boards, that's Barstow. She has 2 defenders on her, not able to beat the first. As Lakeland starts to break out, it'll get stopped at the blue. Pullman with it. She'll have it there at the ringette line. Barstow manages to pickpocket. Schnitzler now puts it back into the pile as the Trojans are trying to hold it inside of their zone, not quite able to. And we are now within the last 5 minutes of this 3rd period. They'll get dumped back in. Chasing is Williams. Williams sending it across to Burrill. Burrill sending up to Carruthers. Finds Lowen down the middle. Let's see what she can do with it. She'll walk in. Tapped wide. Erdhart recovers. Barstow gets the steal at center. And she'll choose to just dump and chase. Not able to find a forward there. Stolen again by Loen. Quite a few neutral zone turnovers here in this last minute. It gets dumped in, and Fox has to retrieve it behind the goal. Erdhart sends it in deep. And it'll get sent down. As Coleman chases once again. Stopped at the blue. They'll say that they were offside at the 3:48 mark. In this third period, we are quickly running out of time here. The score is 5-2, as it is quickly looking like Lakeland will expand their win streak to an impressive 7 as they continue to take over the ACAC and potentially take that first place spot. It will get dumped in. Roulette on it. Not able to stop it. Alexander will chase and retrieve at the 3:34 mark. Alexander off the boards. Carruthers is the only one that's there. We'll go Byer. Seloweski walks in off the pad. A lot of bodies there, but none of them able to bury it as Madison Fox stops that one.
Rustlers are just trying to sneak in another goal before the end of the game here, but SAIT will not let them.
Yeah, and it could be the type of situation where you're just trying to leave with your heads held high, a little bit of momentum going into the next one, and that's all you could possibly want if you are the Trojans, looking to potentially get a last-minute one to walk out of Winsport with a little bit more morale. Alexander off the boards to Vader. Vader. They try to find Alexander down the middle, not quite able to. Alexander gets the steal anyway. Off the boards, sent in. Cloette in the corner with it. She'll chase, gets stolen. Alexander going for it in the corner once again. Stopped by Erdhart, but not for long. Trying to find Appel, not quite able to, as that gets sent in. Erdhart with it. She'll send it up. Retrieved by Cloette. Sent in deep. Zach will wrap around the back of the net. Ward is chasing. Appel. Appel will walk it in as that gets tipped high and out of danger. The Rustlers still have it though. Stolen by Erdhart. Sent over the blue. And not for long as the Rustlers quickly send it right back in. That's Hayward. Sending it down. Brewers on it. Not able to take control in a chance that could have potentially been great for the Trojans. Bolema will walk in. She'll turn around. Walk it in now on goal. And a great save by Neufeld to keep this one tied up.
We're seeing a bit of that aggression come back now here in the last couple minutes.
And the Trojans' current turn are not going away quietly, to say the least. As that one gets put back on goal. It's back behind the net now. Brewer on it. Puts it back around. No forward in the area. They quickly go back into the zone to retrieve. As that's Bolema on it now. Sent back into the corner once again. That's Brewer. Brewer sent around to Bolema. And Schnitzler will not be able to stop it at the blue. It'll be sent all the way down as a very, very tired Lakeland has to stay out there against the refreshed and new starting lineup for the Trojans. Let's see what they got. There's 1:18 on the clock. Maybe a chance for the Trojans to bury one last one. Let's see what they have. Ack and close, not able to win the faceoff. They send it down the ice. Blocked there. Sent blocked again. Erdhart with it. They'll go off for a change. Erdhart with the first quick step. Walking in. Putting it high. Not beating the goaltender. That one goes a little bit too high. We are in the last minute of this one. As Erdhart finds McKinnon. Not able to beat that last defender though. Seloweski finds Smith. That ends up behind the goal for Appel. In front for Smith. Not able to beat the goalkeeper. Sent up. Stopped at the blue. Barstow gets it over. And the Trojans breaking in on offense, maybe for the last try here in 30 seconds. Ack and close on the boards. That'll be Schnitzler.
Looks like the Rustlers are just trying to play a bit of keep away here in the last few seconds.
As it looks like Perry will try and get a last-minute shot, but that will do it. The final score is 5-2 with Lakeland moving on to a record of 7-1.
You know, we saw some great playing by both teams here, but unfortunately Lakeland is second there in the ACAC, and it really goes to show
yeah,
you
one
can
of the
play
better
well, but
one of the better teams in the ACAC. If you're the Trojans, you can't really be too hurt about losing to as strong of a team that Lakeland has built this year. Trojans obviously will have to come back. We'll have to see what they can bring into next weekend when they will have more action going on. After the handshake line here, we are going to be seeing players of the game. Reese, do you think you have a guess on who could potentially win it? We can start with the Trojans.
oh, well, Simon, I'm not too sure. We saw a lot of good playing from the Trojans here. I'm thinking maybe Tamron Ward, as she did get that one of the goals there.
It was a really, really nice goal as well, able to walk around the blue, able to keep it inside just barely by just about a step. An impressive goal to say the least, their second of the season. It's definitely a lot of choices. That would definitely be a good one. You could also maybe argue Madison Fox, as she was the reason that the Trojans were in it going into the third period. Despite letting in 5, had an impressive game when she had the chance to really have that. The Trojans just struggled to protect her. Definitely a lot of options.
Which is one of the reasons, I think, for the Rustlers. Janae Newfield, their goal, was able to hold her ground very well this game.
I definitely do not disagree with you. I think it will go to Janae Newfield. I think there's a lot of points in this game where the Trojans could have very easily made a comeback, but just weren't quite able to because of the player in between the pipes for the Rustlers. Let's see who they end up giving it to. One of the goal scorers for the Rustlers there had an excellent game. No surprise there that they chose somebody who was able to get the puck past Madison Fox.
Absolutely.
And we will be seeing Cameron Cloette getting it now for the Trojans. Another player we saw plenty of on that top line for the Trojans. Had a big impact. Wasn't quite able to find the box, or the box score that is, but did an excellent job both defensively and offensively. That will do it for tonight's affair. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Simon Chaskovsky, alongside me Reese Tenhove. Make sure to tune in next week for more ACAC action. Have a good night.
Have a good night, folks.